Ben McKee, West Rucker, Go Vols 24/7 here with our Around the Horn following Tennessee's Game 3 win over Texas A&M 6-5 to win the national championship. The Big Orange, they're the champions, and college baseball's champions are clad in Big Orange.
Yeah, I mean, by the skin of their teeth, Ben. I mean, it doesn't matter, right? They don't ask how, they ask how many, and Tennessee's got a national championship now. And, people who are actually like athletic and can do stuff like, mountain climbers and stuff, they say that the closer you get to the summit, right, the higher you go, the thinner the air gets, the harder it gets. Trying to win a championship, it's like that. You've seen that with this Tennessee baseball program, right? The closer you get, the harder it gets. And in this game today, those final 6 outs, the number of outs they needed kept shrinking, but the lead kept shrinking too. And it was not pretty. A lot of those arms are on fumes. It is what it is this time of the year. You have to make it work. Tennessee made it work. Those were two wounded beasts going at each other toward the end, and Tennessee just kind of had enough to hold on, and that's how a championship should be won. I mean, a 6-1 kind of processional, yeah, it may have led to some heart palpitations and stuff around the country, especially toward the state of Tennessee, but you know what? You got there, and to do it that way, it almost makes it more special.
Absolutely, and Christian Moore started it off with a bang with his home run, the last of his career, his 61st. Gave Tennessee an early 1-0 lead. I'm sure that allowed them to breathe a little bit. But Dylan Dreiling, Tennessee's MVP of the tournament, continued to come up big. 3rd straight home run, 3 straight games with a home run in the 7th inning. That was a 2-run shot, and that allowed Tennessee to add some very much needed insurance runs. And Dylan Dreiling, I mean, what more can you say about him? The kid was just absolutely phenomenal, and we've said a bunch this week. He's made himself quite a bit of money.
He has, and I still think, if you're looking big picture, like his arm, if it were stronger, he would absolutely be a first-round pick at this point. It's almost starting to be like, how much does that matter because of the other things he can do? And I'm not saying it doesn't matter, but regardless, he's going to make money playing this game. You're looking at potentially a Major League Baseball player. You're looking at a great prospect. And you're looking at a guy who put together one of the most special postseasons. I mean, Christian Moore became the first person since the 1960s to have a cycle first, but also 2 homers, 2 triples, and 2 doubles in the same College World Series. And he won the MVP. It was Dylan Dreiling because of the moments when they came up. Man, he was good.
Yeah, he absolutely was. And Dreiling had the big hit in the 7th inning, and kind of when you had that 2-run homer, you could kind of start the anticipation start to build. Like Tennessee fans, you could tell they were sensing that a national championship was just around the corner. And what proved to be pivotal was Hunter Inslee's slide at the plate. He singles after the homer. Kavares Tears nearly homers as well off the top of the wall in the deepest part of the ballpark. Inslee, on a bad hamstring, scores all the way from first base and puts on just one heck of a swim move at the plate to score. And that run proved to be the difference in the ballgame.
Yeah, I think I asked Drew Bienfeld's football stuff. He's like, no, I think it may have been more of like a Euro step in basketball, what he did. He said, regardless, it worked. And Hunter Inslee was talking to him after the game, and he said that now that the season's over, he'll be honest about it and say that from the moment he hit that wall in the first game and left eye black on it, which might still be out there, it's been out there all week, his hamstring hurt bad. Like his other places like hip, shoulder a little bit, there's some soreness there, but those were just soreness, like the hamstring's hurting him. And he said that he was probably 50% maximum, maybe a little less than that in terms of health, but he just went out there, he was like, no one's taking me out of this game. Like, he had to go out of that game for a couple innings because they made him. But after that, he was like, I'm not coming out. If you want to DH me, that's fine. I'm not coming out. He's like, we've come too far. This is it. I'm in this. Let's go. And he said they'll get scans when he gets back to Knoxville. He didn't seem to particularly mind that right now.
No.
In what could be his final college baseball game, maybe not. We'll see. He wasn't sure yet. Just what more could you want from a guy?
Nothing, quite frankly. He is a national champion. On the mound, Xander Sechrest, also a national champion, after yet another terrific performance from, Dreiling was the most valuable hitter down the stretch. Sechrest was the most valuable pitcher down the stretch for Tennessee.
Absolutely. Look at his final 6 or so performances of his career. Every single one of those games had some sort of championship implications, like clinching SEC title, right? Getting to the SEC championship game, winning the regionals, winning the super regionals, getting to the College World Series finals, winning the national championship. That's like a Picasso looking like resume, man. Like he was. You think about this being the midweek guy up until like this season. I mean, just a lot of guys would not have even stayed at Tennessee. They'd have gone somewhere else where they could pitch more. He said he just had a hunch when Burns left. He was like, I think I can get a spot. I think I can do this. And man, where would Tennessee be without him? It wouldn't be the national champion, probably, I'll tell you that much. And the way he's able to keep everybody loose in these games, Ben, it's huge. He makes everybody loose.
It absolutely is, and very fitting that the game ends with Kirby Connell getting Tennessee out of a jam in the 8th inning with back-to-back strikeouts. Last time you'll see him as of all, screaming, walking off the mound. And then Aaron Combs got a little hairy there in the 9th, but able to buckle down and pick up a couple strikeouts. Most importantly, final out to secure the national championship is a strikeout, and that batter at the plate was a tying run. I mean, it doesn't get any more interesting than that right there.
Yeah, I think he took that whole those runners on base don't mean anything pretty literally, right? I mean, you're talking about he gets a balk out of nowhere. He throws a wild pitch. Maybe it's a pass ball, maybe it's a wild pitch, but regardless, I mean, whatever. He can go into the windup then. I mean, it's the guy's got probably jello for an arm after yesterday, but that's how championships are won. You go out there, you spin it, you give it what you got. He got 3 Ks in the last inning. You know, he got 3 Ks, he got 3 outs, he got Tennessee a national championship. And there's just so many stories on this team. I mean, you know, Combs is a guy who he goes to Coastal as a freshman, has Tommy John surgery, can't even play, goes to JUCO, you know, comes to Tennessee, ends up being this guy that he is. I mean, there's so many stories on this team. The championship sort of tapestry on this team it's a rich one.
Yeah, it definitely is, and just the grit and the determination today. Just trying to find any way to get any out possible, working a quality at bat, making the plays when you absolutely had to. The grit and the determination. Obviously, there's a ton of skill and a ton of talent, but that is what separated this team and what allowed them to get over the hump and win a national championship.
Yeah, I mean, it's never going to be comfortable, right? Like it's supposed to be hard. It's a national championship. Like maybe, you know, if you go out there, does it mean any less if it's a 6-1 game? No, it doesn't. But like the way that it happened, kind of fitting in that some things go wrong. They don't go the way you want them to go. You got to overcome that. And they're like, fine. Because what happened 2 years ago was Tennessee had one of the best teams in college baseball history. Didn't even get here. And because that team got punched in the mouth and didn't know what to do. Because it had spent all season knocking everybody out. You give the bully a punch, he doesn't know what to do. This team had taken some lumps. They'd taken a few, you know, raps to the face. And that helped them. That got them where they are. If they don't lose to Evansville, if they don't lose that first game here, you don't know what happens, but you know how they respond to it like champions.
Yep, and that's what they are. They are champions. It was a wild scene post-game.
Yes.
Interviews galore, so we'll be getting stuff up left and right.
Fingers crossed that the wind didn't kill the audio.
Getting stuff up left and right over the next several weeks, not just days, several weeks. They've got a championship parade of sorts tomorrow in Market Square back in Knoxville. Don't know why they scheduled it for Tuesday with a lot of family and friends in Omaha, but I think they're trying to get everybody together before the team goes its separate ways. But be on the lookout for that. I think we're going to have some representation there. So just a lot going on these next couple of weeks. We've got plenty of content coming your way tonight. We'll have every angle of Tennessee winning the national championship covered as best we can. Thank you for everybody watching along the way and throughout the season. And last thing I'll say is, all the former players out there watching, I was texting Jared Dickey right before we press record. I hope you all feel a lot of pride tonight, because this team doesn't win the national championship if you all don't lay the foundation the way that they did early on.
And Xander Secret said that too. He said, you know, he started listing a whole bunch of names, Russell, you know, a whole bunch of guys that he's played with throughout his career. And he said, I know I'm missing names here, but he just kept listing names, and he's like, all these guys should get a piece of this too. He was like, they kind of built this, and he goes, I'll never forget that we didn't get this 2 years ago, because we should have and we didn't, but we got this today, and these guys get part of that. And it's just kind of the way it goes. Like it's been a gradual climb, a very impressive, consistent, but gradual climb. And it ended the way that they wanted to end. Now they're, you know, Elander's talking about how excited he is to go recruiting, like immediately. He's like, got some portal work to do. I was redshirted this year. He goes like, I love the guys who got coming in. Like, let's keep this going. They're fired up, man.
Yep, they absolutely are, and hard not to feel like this isn't the start of something even more special than what it's already been these last 4 seasons. Tennessee baseball, national champions for the first time in program history. He's Wes Rucker. I'm Ben McKee.